Flags are fundamentally used to control light. Maybe they're blocking a bright highlight off a part of a photo, or maybe blocking light off the background. But few people use flags as a creative tool. So I'd like to show you briefly how you can use a flag to block light to create unusual or interesting, visually interesting shadows on the subject's face. So right now, what I've selected is a bare bulb. And the reason I've done this is because the effects of a flag casting a shadow are exaggerated when you use a hard light source. Hard light sources create a very fast transition from shadow to highlight. So the shadows that they cast are abrupt. That's the idea behind it. So my bare bulb is going to give me a very hard shadow. So let me take a shot and show you what I'm working with no flag introduced into this scene. Okay, so as you can see, the light is very hard, it's very specular, but overall the shot, it's pretty bland. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a flag. And a flag can be anything. They make some flags that let some light through. They make some flags that are black so they don't bounce any light. But you can use whatever you have, which could be a piece of dark cardboard, or in this case, I just have a piece of foam core. So to demonstrate this, I'm actually going to have Sophia move the flag in and out, but of course you can have your flag on a stand. All right, so what I'm going to have you do is, can you put the flag right about here? All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to cast a little bit of a shadow on the side of our subject's face. Okay, so you can see we've now cast a shadow on the left-hand side of the subject. But there's more control than even that. And I love how crisp it is, how my subject now is emerging from the darkness. If I didn't want her to be emerging from complete shadow, I could add a reflector, or I could pop a light on in the background behind her. So I'd still have this interesting shadow, but then I could give more depth to the photo by maybe adding a grid on another strobe behind her. There's a little more control you can get over using this flag though. Can you put it back up for me? Great. And I'm gonna have to move it towards the light. Great. So what you can see, and you can actually see this with your eye, is the closer it is to the light, the more diffuse that line is, so it won't be as crisp. So you'll just get the shadow, but it's a little bit softer. And so you see that transition of where the shadow is on the side of the face, it's more gradual. The other way that I'll use flags in this creative way is, can you bring it back? And bring it medium close, like halfway. Is I can actually use it and have my subject move, so I can change the position of that shadow. So can you turn your head a little bit to your right? Perfect. Great. So now it's just grazing the side of her face. Or can you bring that out a little bit, and now lean forward, and now turn your head even more. And now I can have it, lean back just a little bit. I can have it cut halfway across her face. And lean back just a bit right there. And so now, basically the entire left-hand side of the frame of her face is in shadow. And so I can move the distance of that flag, I can change the angle of my subject's face, and moving her in and out. So when you think of flags, yeah, think of ways to block light, ways to control the spread of light, but you can also use it creatively when illuminating your subject's face.